What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Hot Takes with Matt and Hot Sauce is back, and we are here with 19-3 pro boxer Kalvin Hot Sauce Henderson. We're about to break it down for you. Kalvin, how are you doing today?
But I'm blessed. Big Matt, how you doing? Doing all right?
I'm doing great, and I'm ready to get right on into it. Talk a little bit. Shakur versus Lopez fighting January 30th, 140-pound weight. Shakur is a solid favorite. Just break down that fight. What do you see happening, and how do you think this is going to sell?
Man, first off, this is a great matchup between Shakur and T.O. It's been a matchup a long time in the making. Shakur been needing that one opponent to fight that would take him to like legitimately where people actually respect him, and I feel like T.O. is the perfect match for that. But don't sleep on T.O. though, man. T.O. can fight. T.O. is a former undisputed champion at 140. You know, he had all the titles at one point at 140. And so this is going to be a very interesting matchup because Shakur, as we know, he sits back, uses the defense, uses really good footwork, counter punching, kind of let the other guy be an aggressor. And T.O. at times can be the aggressor and have success. And so T.O. has the power. He has the skills. Shakur has the defense. He has the footwork, the IQ. This is going to be a really good matchup, man. Me personally, I would like T.O. to win, but I don't think he has what it takes to beat Shakur. Shakur is very skilled and very aware of where punches are coming from and distance. That's the biggest thing. He's really great with his distance. But T.O. is not counting out. The lead up to this fight it's really funny because T.O. is the natural born clown, kind of like me. That all the press conferences, he's like getting under the skin of Shakur. Shakur is like agitated. I don't know if that's affecting him in the fight, but he's definitely agitated now. It was a clip on I seen on Instagram where Shakur was like, "Hey, you said I was slow in the ring, right?" And T.O. was like, "Mentally." He was like, "No, I mean like slow. He's like, mentally. He just stayed out on the whole time just trolling them, you know what I mean? But it's a good matchup, man. What do you have winning, Matt?
I'll go Shakur. I'll go with the favorite. I'll go with the slick boxer. I'm going to go with Shakur there. And I'll go with decision. And then next, we got David Benavidez versus Zurdo Rameriz. Cinco de Mayo, I believe, in May. And it's cruiserweight. Benavidez is moving up. And looks like there's going to be no tune-up fight. Kind of old news at this point. But there's going to be no tune-up for Zurdo after his shoulder surgery that was canceled mid-December. And yeah, but this is really interesting. The fact that they've sparred so many times over the years. They know each other. They have a great history. Both are Mexican warriors. What are your thoughts there?
Man, this is a great matchup, man. And that's even more interesting you say that because David, the way he spars like he fights. So it was a good assessment to go after Zurdo at cruiserweight. One, because David is bigger. He takes bigger punches already. People call him a weight bully already. You know what I mean? So I don't think the jump to cruiserweight is a far stretch. But I don't see a lot of people right now beating David, man. He's just relentless. He's strong, powerful, lets his hands go. His defense on the double guard is sneakily good. People look at him from the outside and go like, all he does is put his hands up and just blocks. But we have yet to see him get caught with anything of significance. Laurel caught him one time in their fight, but he shook it off, went back to punching. So this is a really good matchup. It's going to be all fireworks the entire time. Tune in. I have David by decision, especially when you say him coming off, Zurdo coming off his shoulder surgery. That's the big surgery, man. That's a huge surgery. So hopefully he recovered well. He's back to training because it's going to be a tough fight with David Benavidez.
Right, and then the next topic I want to hit is Tank Davis is in trouble once again. There's an arrest warrant for him, and the Miami PD is working alongside the U.S. Marshals Fugitive Task Force to go and find Davis. They can't find him as of recording this early afternoon, Friday, January 16th. But yeah, just reading up on it a little bit. In the incident in question, which is going to lead to his eventual arrest if they ever do find him, took place October 27th at a gentleman's club in Miami. And it sounds like he took one of the ladies there that he had a relationship with, grabbed her by the back of the head and pulled her with one hand behind her head and the one hand on her throat, forcefully dragging her through a stairwell, kitchen, and back exit before physically assaulting her in the parking garage. And she filed a report a few days later. And it sounds like, based off the investigation, that those allegations match what the surveillance footage shows. And Yeah, it's just a real nasty situation. Tank Davis to me is one, he's stupid and he's just not a good human being.
Mm.
Calvin, give me your thoughts.
Yeah. And so Tank, I like Tank a lot, man. Tank's one of my favorite fighters right now, currently. This what I appreciate out of young cats and Jim, my mentor, is that if you know you have an issue with a certain situation, right, then I stay out of those situations. If I know I can't control myself around a buffet, then I don't go to Golden Corral. You know what I mean? So if you know that you have a problem with domestic violence and against women, don't put yourself in a situation where it's going to be women all around. And so Tank has said before in previous interviews that he knows he has an issue. He knows there's something going wrong with him mentally. And he said that he wants to get it fixed, but he doesn't want it to affect his boxing career. He said he fights. Part of the reason why he fights so hard the way he does is because he is mentally messed up. And so he wants to get 3, maybe 4 more fights with the top guys, retire, and then get help to be there for his daughter. So he recognizes that he has a problem, one. Two, I think he's on the way to getting help, but he has to stay out of his own way to get help. And that makes sense to you. He actually posted a video a couple of days before the news was released, and I think it's just him trolling. It was him what seemingly looked like a closet doing like an and one crossover move, and then cuts the camera off. Everybody, what is that about? And then 2 days later, you see that the U.S. Marshals looking for him, man. So maybe that was a troll, maybe that was a joke of him trying to dodge the police, but who knows?
Yeah, and he has the resources to get away, that's for sure. I mean, he could be in a different country right now chilling. But yeah, he has a long history of domestic violence. And this is stuff that he's doing in front of people, which to me is really, really scary. Because if he's acting like this in front of people where people can see him or cameras can see him, what is he doing behind closed doors is my big question. And he also, there's video of him from years ago dragging a woman out of this. I don't know if it was a fight or like a celebrity boxing match, but he dragged her out.
Yeah.
Yeah, he dragged her out and out of like the arena, and it's just like I'm saying. Like I think if he's doing this in front of people, I'm concerned about what he's doing behind closed doors. So I mean, he can recognize that he's got problems, but he keeps on committing these things, and I think he doesn't belong in the public because he keeps on doing this. This is not new behavior. If this was the first time, this was a brand new allegation, I would be looking at it a little bit differently. But it seems like evidence is pointing towards Davis being a clown, and I just think he's a really, really low IQ person. Like he's stupid, and that's the reality of it. He's stupid, and I don't think he has a good heart. I think he has a bad heart, and hopefully he can improve on that. But I hope he ends up in jail because this has been repeated, and there's a reason why the Jake Paul Gervonta Davis fight was canceled. Is
Yeah.
because I believe Jake and his team were made aware that hey, there's footage and it's bad, and they canceled that event right away. And yeah, I just
I
he
don't
wants to
necessarily.
retire. He wants to retire. I say let him retire. He shouldn't be making a lot of money. You should be paying him, in my opinion.
I don't think he necessarily is to the core a bad person. I think he's making very bad decisions. I don't necessarily think he's stupid, but he's making stupid decisions. You know what I mean? I understand, like, you make stupid decisions, people gonna call you what they see. I get that. I think deep down inside, he knows what's right and wrong, but he don't know how to figure out how to get away from either certain people, certain situations, or certain places that keep making him make bad decisions. So I hope he gets it together. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like what he's doing. I don't condone what he's doing. It is not right by no means. But he needs to be in better situations and make better decisions in those situations.
And I believe this. I mean, he has a 2023 hit and run case where he's got 3 years of probation. So I imagine this violates his probation in some kind of way. But
Mm,
for him to get help, maybe the best situation is for him to go to jail and go to prison where there are no women, and he
mm.
can maybe do one of the programs in jail. But I'm pretty convinced that he is not a good thing for society for him to be roaming around right now. That's just the way I see it. And yeah, I think unless there's any other thoughts you have, I'm ready to move on to the next topic. But yeah, I want to see him behind bars. That's the way I want to see him. So next topic, Zhang is back. Big Bang Zhang is making a return to the ring. Apparently in early April is the target date. 42 years old, last fought February of 2025. and lost to the number 2 fighter in the world. And he had a fight planned with Derek Chisora, which is interesting to me. 2 guys the same age, big, strong, heavy power punchers. But his hit list is Tyson Fury, Daniel Dubois, and Wardley for his next bout. What do you think?
I think Big Bang got some more bang in him, man. I think it's really easy to put a hit list up for people you want, especially for paydays and big fights, stuff like that. Right now, you gotta get focused on just getting back in the ring and getting back that confidence. You know what I mean? I think this last fight he got stopped against that guy. Am I correct?
Yeah, he did. Body shot, 6th round.
Yeah. So like fights like that, especially body shots, man, you gotta get back into that confidence and get back to trusting in your skill sets.
Yeah, and before he fought Big Bang, the same dude tore up Frank Sanchez's body like really bad. But yeah, and while I was kind of researching a little bit about his return and potential fights, I just took a look at the BoxRec rankings, and outside of Daniel Dubois at 28 years old, every heavyweight in the top 10 on BoxRec is in their 30s, and Usyk is 39 as of January 16th, which is tomorrow at the time of recording. And you see a lot. You see Chisora is ranked 14th at 42. Zhang is ranked 16th at 42. Luis Ortiz is 25th at 46 years old. So it feels like, especially in the heavyweight division, the better boxers are older. Why do you think that is?
So with boxing and your body and Father Tom, I think I said it before in a previous interview. The last thing to leave, your speed goes, your timing goes, your youthness. That's a word that disappears too. And so the last thing to leave you is your power. And so if you're a heavyweight, that's really what you need to change the whole fight around. You can land just one punch any given moment and the fight's changed. So you see a lot of guys who stick around in heavyweight boxing who are older because they still have that power. The speed may not be there, the combo may not be there, but you see that that one slug, that slobber knocker, if you will. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right across the lips, knock the lips off. And then with heavyweights, a lot of guys need time to develop to a bigger body, to a bigger frame. A lot of heavyweights in the past you've seen were actually cruiserweights or lighter weight classes that built up to heavyweight. And then some guys are transitioning from other sports like football or basketball. You know what I mean? So sometimes heavyweight, they just stay around longer because of their power and they need more time to develop.
Okay. And talk about the learning curve in the sweet science. To become a top-level boxer, how long does it take, and how do you keep on improving in the sweet science? And what do you think the learning curve is in boxing compared to other sports?
Man, it's crazy you ask that, man, because in my opinion, there's no one exact answer for that. There's so many different ways to get to the top of the mountain in boxing. People peak at different ages. People peak at different styles. People peak with different coaches. And there's no one right recipe to get this every time. What I do know is that you have to be dedicated to the sport. You have to have a work ethic like no other, you know what I mean? And you have to be able to learn quickly to the elite level. We're talking about the elite level, right? You have to be able to learn quickly. If you get caught with one punch in the first round, you can't get caught with the same shot the entire fight. Because that's how shit ends quickly, you know what I mean? That shit builds up and eventually you're knocked out. So you have to be able to adjust, high IQ with just reps, and really just have a ungodly work ethic. Also, too, with timing. You know what I mean? If we had Floyd Mayweather skill sets back in the 80s when we had Sugar Ray Leonard and Roberto Duran, in my opinion, Floyd would have just been a B-level fighter. You know what I mean? Because the talent was so thick then. Not saying it's Floyd's fault. You can't help what area you grew up in. But timing plays a huge role. And it's also, too, if you're great at the wrong time, then you're average. If you're average at the right time, then you're great. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's the combination of everything.
Okay, interesting. And I think that's a good stopping point for this episode. Kalvin, is there anything else you want to discuss? And actually, I'll ask you one last thing. Kalvin, moving forward, are you trying to get back in the ring soon? Are you in discussions? Well, what's that looking like?
And half fist will travel, man. I am in the gym. I'm literally in the gym right now. I just got through sparring my little brother. We did 9 rounds. You know what I mean? Like, I stay in the gym. I'm ready, baby. I'm ready. Like, I'm in shape. I got a phone call about TCL just a couple weeks ago, so that's on the table too. When I'm pursuing that, I think it's called TBL now. It's called Team Boxing League instead of Team Combat League. So that's an option. But man, I'm just waiting around. I hate to say waiting around. I'm working and wait on a phone call, if you will. You know? Yeah.
Staying ready, so you don't have to get ready. So,
Amen. Yes, sir.
All right, well, this was Hot Takes with Matt and Hot Sauce. We'll be back again soon. Punch that subscribe button, and we will see you sometime in the near future.
Make good choices.